Are you aware that the life you are living now, it has been documented before you come to existence? I'm not talking about the God of the Bible. I'm not talking about Allah in the Quran. I'm not talking about the belief system that is associated with your ancestors. No. I'm talking about your colonial masters. They've pre-planned the life you are living now. According to their document, it says from early stage, you go to school, to primary. From primary, you move to high school. From high school, you go to college. From college, you go to varsity. From varsity, you start looking for a job. If you get a job, you start looking for money to build a house, to buy a car, and get married. Now let's analyze this together. Before each and every individual can start thinking on their own, it's gonna be after they finish high school. For those who were, for those who are unable to proceed to college or varsity, if those who are able to go to college or varsity, it will be after their school, which is college or varsity, and all their thinking faculties, whatever they're gonna be thinking, they're gonna be coming out of their brain. It will be based on those things they've been taught in their school. Whatever they will be thinking, whatever they are reasoning, we totally base on what they've been told from their early stage, which was documented by their colonial masters. So they can't think outside what they've been taught in school. They can't think outside the belief system that the colonial masters have planned or pre-planned for them before they come to existence. And this is not something that can be easily broken like that. The reason is that if you notice, the same way of life, of going to school, get a job, get a car, build a house, get married, live for a while, die, go to school, get a job, build a house, get a car, give birth to kids, raise them to go, send them to school. They also do the same thing, the same system, the same way of life. Keep uh, moving from one generation to the other. And now it is very, very easy because a father that has been brought up in the same line of system will raise his or her kids in the same way of life and make them to believe the same thing he believed in. It will make his kids to follow the same belief system he believed in. And the same system is transferring to the next generation was transferred to him by his own father. And his own father believed in the same system, in the same belief system, lived the same life, because his forefathers made him to believe that the life he lived was the perfect way of life. Now, let's ask ourselves, critically notice all this way of life. Are they truly working for us? The Western system says you should go to school, finish school, get a job, get married. There's one Yoruba adage that says, Iṣẹ́ ọmọ àṣejẹ, owó ọmọ àṣelà. And the literally translation of it is that when you are working, it will only enable you to survive only, to get what to eat, get yourself a place to stay, get yourself affordable clothing to wear. Owo ọmọ àṣelà means if you are doing business, business can lead you to wealth. But do you know the system we are exposed to that was pre-planned for us without our knowledge says we should go to school. After that, you pack your stuff, your CV, and you start looking for a job. Let's say you go to primary school 6 years, you go to secondary school 6 years, you go to college 3 years. 6 plus 6, that is 12, plus 3, that is 15, plus 4 for university, or 3, that is 18 years. Let's say you started as a farmer and you are selling this. You have only one piece of this. Or let's say to be more realistic, let's say you as a farmer, you have one piece of maize, maize or corn, whatever. You have one, just one, and you planted it. Let's say you keep repeating, replanting the same corn for 18 years. How many quantity of maize you will have after 18 years? Or let's say you are selling something with what I was using as an example earlier. You started with one and you keep selling the same product for 18 years. How many of these, or there's possibility of you having a factory of this product if you keep doing it for 18 good years? This is not to uh, underestimate education system. I'm not against education system, but this is just for us to come together as an African and think logically. After that 18 years, you have to put your CVs together and start looking for a job. And if you notice this very well, Government that we claim to depend on cannot and never create job opportunity for everyone. But why do we keep and stick to the same system? There's more to that, but we won't go there today. Why do we keep believing? Because we were told to believe. And why do we keep doing things? Because we were told to do it. And we just find ourselves transferring the same way of life, the same belief system from one generation to the other. And every generation believed that the way of life, the belief system that was transferred to them by their fathers is the perfect way without taking their time to question the way of life and to question the belief system that was given to them. And we find ourselves repeating the former way of life that our forefathers lived without verifying maybe that is the perfect way of life indeed. Until every individual started thinking and living life according to their own philosophy. Same thing will keep repeating itself. But the question is that how many people have time to talk to themselves? There are a lot of things out there distracting people from their inner self. Talking about school system, talking about religious system, talking about marriage system, talking about political system. There are a lot of things. Talking about social media, there are several things distracting people from their inner self. Majority of people barely have just 1 minute in 24 hours to spend with themselves, having a personal meeting with themselves. And that is our biggest problem in Africa today. Someone told me something. It says the owner of iPhone, his kids are not allowed to use iPhone or to use any phone. Then I ask myself, if the person that owns the company producing iPhone resists his children from having phone at early stage of their life, what does that tell you? That should tell you something. But there are a lot of things we are not aware of that keep distracting us from the reality and the perfect way of life we're supposed to be living. In 1835, in February, in British Parliament, Lord Macaulay said something. It says the only way they can conquer Africa is to distract them, is to make them believe contrary to their belief system, is to make them change their mind against their culture, their tradition, and their way of life. And it says he has traveled around all African countries, and there's no man begging in the streets. And the formal education system of Africans is that a father, they have a son, would teach his son to be professional in whatever he is doing as a father. Let's say he's a farmer. He will teach his son to be a professional farmer. Whatever he's doing, he will teach his son to be responsible. The child will grow up, have his own setup, living his own life. He will become responsible for himself, for the family, and for the society at large. But now, we were made to believe contrary to those things. Africans, it's time for us to wake up. Africans, it is time for us to wake up. If you check the percentage of Africans going to school, the percentage is very and totally different from the percentage of white people going to school. The ratio is totally different. The religious system that we so much believe in Africa, how many people or how many churches are there in western part of the world? And I question myself, if truly the belief system that they transferred or they introduced to Africa, if it's really working, I think they should have more churches than we do in Africa. About Macaulay says something. No, Lord Macaulay. He says, for us to conquer Africans in 1835, he says, we need to make them believe that everything that is foreign is better than theirs. And they successfully achieved that plan today. Africa will need to wake up. Let's face the reality now and stop confusing the next generation. Thanks for taking your time to watch my video. I'm a preacher of reality. See you in my next video. And please like the video, comment your opinion, and share the video. Thanks.